Hey yo, what is going on guys? Cash and Clean here. So for today's video, we have the October community letter. So I guess let's check out what we got here. It seems like they have been working on the Shadows Eve stuff. Yo, shout out Smoofy. So it looks like that's what they're saying over here. Nothing really fancy going on. We got the block party updates, so we had all that stuff going on. Mystic Gems. I don't know if you haven't played in a while, we have Mystic Gems, so there we go. I guess they have some patch notes. I will leave this link in the description down below so you guys can check that out if you want to. Then some more recap. We had a Twitch drop session, we had a trash to treasure events, and some other stuff going on. But anyway, now I guess we go straight to the community questions. So let's see what we got here. We're doing things a little different this time instead of our usual. Oh wait, Q&A. Wait, they're doing. Wait, what's going on here? Talk about many conversations. Oh wait, third party. Wait, are they addressing the thing that I talked about in the other video? I mean, I don't know if they watched my previous videos about the. I'm assuming this is about the mods and stuff like that. I heard some people talking about it in the Discord server. I thought it was just like a post that they made in Discord or something, and they just screenshotted it. But I guess it was from this. Yeah, I don't know if it was from me or if you guys were telling them which mods are okay or not. But I guess let's take a look here. Bigger step against unfair play. We know that simply reacting to duping, exploiting isn't enough, and we're not happy just chasing the problems after they happen. That's why we're looking into deeper, long-term solutions to tackle these issues. At the root, this includes exploring new ways to prevent unfair advantages and talking with partners about how to improve things behind the scenes. Alright, what kind of partners do they got going on? That's interesting. Are they partnered with Kit Boga? Some software engineering stuff? I don't know. Either way, let's get on to the mods section here. So it looks like they're talking about the mods. Mods are part of the Trove experience, and in general their use is tolerated, but the mod itself is rarely the problem. It's how it's used that matters. A tool that helps you accept invites. Okay, so auto accept an issue. Wait, isn't an issue. Okay, so that's good to know. So we can use auto accept, but if it's used to join exploitative activities, that becomes a problem. But I guess what would that be? I guess for the most part, like when you're trying to rush to the boss room in Delves, it can TP you there. I'm assuming that's fine. And then if you're getting invited to dungeons from like a friend, if you're playing with a friend or something, then I guess that could work. Same goes for other mods. Opening boxes faster isn't a problem by itself, but if those boxes were obtained through duping, I mean, I feel like that's kind of obvious. So I guess we can use fast. Why can't they implement that to console? It takes them so long to open boxes. Anyway, Boss Raider. I like how they're addressing the mods that I specifically talked about, but unless you guys shouted at the devs or like the community managers about this too, that's pretty hype. So highlighting where the bosses are is generally fine, but if the mod goes further and makes walls transparent to reveal things you shouldn't normally see, that crosses the line. That's pretty insane if somebody made a mod for that, just making the dungeons all see-through and whatnot. That'd be pretty cool. I guess that would turn into the whole cheating thing, but good to know that we can use the boss radar stuff. I guess that also kind of sucks for console. Sorry people on there. Ooh, next we got gems. So features like repeatedly crafted items. I guess, are they referring to fast crafting? Leveling up your gems or switching a full tome are convenient and generally fine. Okay, that's good, but like there's a lot of other stuff that are convenient and general, like are they generally fine? I don't know, but I guess. However, if they're used to bypass core systems, for instance to avoid the AFK timer or keep the game running without any player input, that's where the game crosses the line. Yeah, but I mean, the tome one, for example, is without the player's input because it's like picking the tome for you. So I don't know, I guess they said it's fine, so I guess it's fine. So anyway, this is why we can't give a definitive yes or no list. I mean, I mentioned this in my other video, and I remember Chronicle was talking about this too. If we submit a mod, there should be like some type of check where it just gets approved by them on Trovosaurus. So that way we can know if it's good to use or not. As a player, it is your responsibility to consider the context and the potential consequences of using any mod. We don't officially support mods, but we tolerate them within these boundaries, and we expect every player to make thoughtful decisions about how to use them. Alright, so pretty much that kind of cleared up most of the mods that I talked about. So it seems like everything is fair game for the most part. I don't know if we're gonna get more D15 farmers now since this is kind of cleared up, but I think, I don't know, maybe the devs kind of scared them off. I guess we'll have to see in the next coming months or so. But now it looks like we have some interesting stuff here. So Shadows Eve, this was pretty expected. So October 21st to November 4th. They do say surprising rewards. I don't know what that means, but it's definitely not going to be skelly boxes, I can tell you that. Unless they do, they could bring it back and just limit how many you can get. I don't know. We'll have to see though. Okay, this is interesting. The PTS. Okay, so it was up randomly like the past couple weeks or so, but like we couldn't actually go in. So it seemed like they were doing something. And it kind of made sense because if you have seen my last video, they wanted some feedback, and there's also a survey about this. I'll drop that in the description down below. I'm not going to do it right now, but if you guys want to in your own time, you can fill out that survey. I'll just leave a link to that so you can check that out. But pretty much it's for class reworks and stuff like that. So they want to pretty much balance the classes, which is what it's looking like over here. And there are some underpowered characters, and there's some terrible abilities and some rings that are awful. So hopefully they consider all of that, and this is actually going to be pretty interesting. So it won't just be Boomer, Shadowhunter, Solarion, like Ice Age and stuff like that. Maybe we'll see some other classes up there in the meta, so that's pretty nice to see. I don't know if we're going to get a new class with this. I've been hearing some people saying that, but obviously we don't really know anything yet. So if we get a new class, I guess that's cool, but that's just going to be more work. I don't really want to do that. Also, I don't even want to imagine the crafting materials to even craft whatever the new class they even come out with. Because like Bard was pretty tricky when it first came out, then Solarion was pretty tricky when it came out. So this next one, I don't know. They should just make it simple, in my opinion. And I guess that is pretty much it. That is interesting that they took out the questions though, but it's good that they addressed this. I guess they could have done both, but it's good that we got an answer overall. Seems like this community letter was a W. Not too much to complain. Like I said, I highly suggest doing the survey just so we can actually get some feedback on the classes, like which ones are terrible and things like that, which ones need a rework. And from there, I guess we just look forward to Shadow's Eve and whatever they got planned. So either way, that is going to be all for today's video. If you guys have enjoyed, drop a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or if you find yourself coming back, and I'll talk to you guys later.